Hello and welcome everybody to the Steeled Resolve event, which on paper is certainly looking to be one of the weaker things that has been presented to us at the player base. However, before we get going, I foolishly had 10 12Ks in my storage ahead of today. So we're hatching them off so we can finally get some event 2km eggs, and that can be one way to pick up the brand new Pokemon Rookidee, which evolves all the way up to Corviknight. It's a very cool final evolution. I'm a big fan of it. I'd like to get the Pokedex done today, whack down these and see what we can get. So obviously Shroodle is still very much in play with these 12km eggs. Larvitar somehow is the rarest of all of the hatchable mons. A panda. I did put a star piece on though, so we've got a nice amount of Stardust. But yes, it rather approached on my mind. I was like, oh yes, I've got 12km eggs on the go. Perhaps not the best thing to have when we need to hatch twos. There's a Varoom. Maybe you could be a hundo. We've had some good RNG on these 12Ks recently. Salandit. Nice. And this could very well be the final egg if I've counted correctly. It's a Pawniard. No, we've got one more. For a Pawniard. Good stuff. Right. Was there anything good in here? No, that was a bad batch, unfortunately, but 2km eggs, thanks to the Go++. You can see in there, it's a pool of 4. Everything's PvP related, unfortunately. It's a PvP GBL focused one. It's a Go Battle week, basically. I actually get to say thank you very much to RJ Robiri, who gifted us the paid ticket research for today. Really wasn't expecting that one to crop on through, so really appreciate that gifted ticket for the event. It gives you a Rookidee encounter and a bunch of evolved Pokemon that are usable in GBL, but you do get an elite charge TM alongside of that, so it's £5. Personally, I wouldn't recommend getting this ticket unless you are very much in the GBL game. Back to the 2km eggs. Rookidee is in there with Mareanie and Shieldon. Mareanie, great shiny. Shieldon's pretty decent shiny. Carbink still cannot be shiny, but it's good to see a limited pool. The only other way you are going to be able to find a Rookidee is off a rare spawn coming off of magnetic lures. This Pokemon that's brand new, the only new element to this game and this event for this time, isn't available in the wild or even through field research this time. So battle in the Go Battle League is going to give you either a Cubone, Marill or Inkay. Catch 5 is going to give you Jigglypuff, Clefairy or Togetic. Togetic's not a bad one. Power Up 5 is going to give you either Hoppip, Dunsparce or Barboach, and then you've got Spin 5 stops for random items. There are some featured attacks that you can evolve to during the course of this event, and you can actually TM away frustration until Sunday evening. Machamp will get Karate Chop, Feraligatr is going to get Hydro Cannon, Quagsire will get Aqua Tail, Licky is going to get Body Slam, Corviknight, the brand new Pokemon, is actually getting Iron Head, which is great to see, and Clodsire getting Mega Horn, that's its Comday move. And here are your wild encounters: Clefairy, Totodile, Hoppip, Shieldon, Carbink, Machop, Marill, Wooper, Paldean form, Bunnelby and Mareanie. A distinct lack of steel types. There's one steel type Pokemon in an event called Steeled Resolve. Honestly, I don't understand Niantic's logic on this one. They've just used it as an excuse to drop in Rookidee through 2 random methods in the game, both of which cost you and me money. We have to buy the lures, unless you get one from the free research or your showcase wins, or buy the incubators unless you're doing the infinite incubator grind. There's not even a reduced hatch distance. If you look here, it's a standard 2km thing, which I think if you're going to make us hatch for a bloody new Pokemon, at least give us a reduced egg distance. That would have been quite nice. Don't need anything from the wild. So we may not get any shiny luck today, but I want to show a final shiny we got from the Fashion Week. Research delivered us a Dragonite costume, which was fantastic, and that makes it our second one of the Fashion Week this year and 3rd in total. 1614, I think 1625 was the hundo, so this is not too bad on the old IB scale of things. 2XL for the catch, and yeah, 93 shiny. I will very much take that with the costume. So now it's time to see if we get any other shinies. We will run daily adventure insights for about an hour or 2 with some Roar of Time before we sit down with a coffee and put those magnetic lures on. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below for this event. Are you a GBLer? Are you going to give the Go Battle Week a go? Because there are some extra rewards for that. And there is a split research where we've got to choose between Blanche and Cliff. Cliff gives you the Shadow Machop. Blanche will give you a Marill, I think it is. So I know which way I'm going to go. We've managed to explore 2 kilometers, which means we can complete stage 1 of this research for Bunnelby. Wow. There aren't any perma boosted shinies for this event, I believe. We will have had Paldean Wooper Spotlight Hour tonight. I quite like that mon, Paldean Wooper. 98 Bunnelby, nice. If I didn't have 3 hundos or something, I'd be impressed. There's the Paldean Wooper. That I don't have a hundo of, despite it having a community day. Will this one follow suit? Very much the other end of the scale, unfortunately. Claim 1,000 dust and 1,000 XP, and Professor Willow's actually talking to us. Oh my god. Right, train with Blanche or train with Cliff. Personally, if you haven't done this, Shadow Machop. Such a more usable Pokemon than a Marill. And also Marill, when it comes to PvP, you don't want research stats, you want wild stats, you want 0 attack on it, I believe. This has always been one of my gripes with a PvP event, is that realistically, for PvP, you want low attack stat on stuff. When you do research tasks for these Pokemon, you don't get 0 attack on your research. You get 10 as a minimum stat. So what they do with this research is they give PvP Pokemon, but then don't actually give you PvP stats. Doesn't make sense to me. Anywho, literally nothing on God's green earth would possess me to raid a Delcatty, and I really don't know why that is in there. Right, we've quickly got our first batch of 2-kilometer eggs. There's a Rookidee, our Pokedex on the first egg. That's fantastic. Don't have to worry too much about it. I wonder how much candy. 8 candy. Second egg, there's a shield on. Apologies for the recycling lorry. Third egg, Marini. Was the Rookidee at the beginning the only one we're gonna get? Carbink. Really, that should have dropped as a shiny for this event, I think. That would have given something to chase. Because as it is, you're just praying and hoping for the best on eggs. And as it stands, it's just 1 Rookidee out of 9 eggs. Dear God. But is it good? Mid. Second batch of 2Ks, and I do think this will be my final batch of eggs on the video, because you're just walking around aimlessly looking at Pokemon that are relevant to something I'm not interested in. So Carbink again, and as I suspected, Carbink is going to be the common hatch, unfortunately. Rookidee, there we go, we have a second one with 6 candy. Unfortunately, because they're 2-kilometer eggs, you're not going to get a huge amount of resources from them. There's another Rookidee, okay, much better batch of eggs. Because I actually want to go and get a coffee, sit down and trial a triple magnetic lure. Okay, 3 Rookidee from a batch of 9. That is much better than the first one. There we go, 3 of them, 377, 98. Oh, that's so close. Goku bad. That's a 93, not too bad, and then obviously 369 is going to be, that's a bad 93. But 98, come on. Do I have any rare candy? 1. I'm putting all my rare candy into Roar of Time and Spatial Ren. So I'm actually going to do a Dynamax Cryogonal, and I will try and solo it myself. But anybody who watched the Articuno Dynamax video yesterday, thank you so very much, and everybody who dropped a comment on it. Ahead of Zapdos next week, this is the prime counter, rather hysterically. It's the best to use because it's the only ice type counter we have. Granted, you may have done G-Max Lapras, but G-Max Lapras is locked into being an ice type G-Max move, which is great. But because of its dual typing with water, it can be weak to those electric moves that Dynamax Zapdos is going to throw at you. So people are going to use G-Max Lapras as a tank to heal and hopefully to do some fast attack damage to get the max meter up. But Dynamax Cryogonal is the best counter, and well, I don't actually have a decent one. I've done like 2 because I didn't think it was necessary. Do some of these, get yourself a Metagross. Metagross is going to be a good tank, and actually, I don't think Drillbur's in the cycle at the moment, but if you have an Excadrill, get that thing powered up because it will be resisting all the electric moves, which is great. That is the solo completed on Dynamax Cryogonal using a all maxed out level 40 98 Machamp. All max moves, tier 3, and the same with Metagross. Level 40, tier 3 max moves all the way. Bit of healing, mostly doing the damage. It can be Shynamax. It is not. And 1572, I think it's 1599, maybe the 100%er. Get yourself like one that's somewhat okay stats, and the key thing with Dynamax is powering up those moves. Those moves, when they are tier 3, do so much more damage, shielding, and healing than when they're tier 1. So this is going to be, it's an XXL. Oh my God, it's an XXL Dynamax, how appropriate. And our Zygarde cell was a nice pink square on the map. That tends to happen if you tab out. Toxtricity is a pretty solid counter. We will have a Dynamax Zapdos guide video coming up in the next day or 2. So keep your eye on the channel if you're wanting some tips on how to defeat these Dynamax legendaries, because we're going to be giving them a damn good go. Beginning the edit now on the video, and actually the triple magnetic lure has brought in vastly more Rookidee, including an XXL screenshot right there. Magnetic lures perhaps are the way to go rather than the 2Ks, I would say. You can do it from the comfort of a coffee shop or your home if you have a home stop, or something else. Finally done some GBL battles, taking in the good old level 1s in Master League. It means we claim these terrible TMs that get thrown away, and this should be the Shadow Machop, if I'm not wrong. It is, and 515, I don't know research stuff from Machop. I'm hoping it's a good one, but Shadow Shiny Potential, of course, that's a dead 2-star. It's about the worst we could have got from research, which is fantastic. The next triple set of lures has been the complete opposite. We've had one Rookidee in nearly 20 minutes out of 3 lures. So I'm gonna look to wrap up this video here, but we have actually won a GBL battle. Can you believe it? Me winning a GBL? Unbelievable. A singular Silver Pineapple Berry. We get 10 Ultra Balls, which are okay. Neither for Spoiler Hour tonight. And an encounter with a Kanto Marowak that can't be shiny. If it was the Alolan one, it could have been shiny. And you do get a magnetic lure from this free research, which I think is great. If you're looking to maximize on your magnetic lure, Comday Classic, what you should do is put your magnetic lure down where you're going to be 1 or 2 minutes before 5 PM on the Saturday, because then you'll get the full 3 hours of Community Day lure bonus, but only have like a minute or 2 of actual Comday spawns interrupting your Rookidee chase. We'll claim the premium time research on another video later this week when we get our Corviknight Pokedex, because as we stand, we're at 93 candy out of a couple of catches, and there is the XXL. So great to have the Pokedex today. In my initial thoughts of this event, it's not really my cup of coffee, I've got to be honest. It's a PvP GBL thing. There are a couple of decent Pokemon that I like. Machop and grinding those candies doesn't matter what facet of the game you're going for. If you want to do Dynamax powering up, for example, if you want to go for PvP, if you want to go for shadows, if you want to go for raid counters. Machop and Machamp, seriously good thing to go and grind for XL candy and candies, etc. Togetic in the quests, that's a pretty good fairy type for the raids, and it's got its place in GBL, but the rest of the spawns are PvP focus, so not my thing really. But let me know, of course, as I said before, what you're chasing for this event, and I hope you can get some bits and pieces. Don't forget, Dynamax, you're going to need to prepare for Zapdos that's coming on Monday next week, and we're going to have a little bit of information here on the channel in the next couple of days, help you guys understand which Pokemon are probably best to power up, and do some research as well, because Dynamax Articuno was soloed by somebody who had 3 Gmax mons, 2 Gmax Lapras level 40s, basically just doing the fast move to max out the meter, and a Gmax Toxtricity with max damage to do the actual damage. So there's a strategy involved there. But before we go, if you enjoyed this video, please do hit that subscribe button down below and stick with me for the Pokemon Go content. And of course, we wouldn't be here were it not for the awesome Patreon squad, who are just genuinely awesome and take their support that much further, and it does seriously help massively keeping the channel rocking and rolling with all manner of content styles that we do here, be it the 24-hour challenges, the live event travel, the non-live event travel for com days, going to different places, the live streams, the general event grinds. It means we can explore and expand our reach, as it were, with what we're able to produce here. So thank you so very much to every single one of you there. You really are awesome people, and I'm very, very thankful. And there's plenty more content for you to go and check out here on the channel. Just a few over there on your right-hand side of the screen, or my right, your left. Go and check out the videos here on the channel, and there is another video or two. In fact, it's going to be a pretty much jam-packed week. There's a video dropping tomorrow. Thursday, we should have a Dynamax Zapdos guide and info tips sort of video, and Friday, we should have our Corviknight Pokedex alongside a few other bits and pieces. And of course, Routes Comday Classic on Saturday. It's a jam-packed week here on the channel. Stick with me for it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Do take care.